Let's find the classification of signals. The classifications of signals are many, but as per the features, depending upon the features, the signals are classified into 5 main categories. The first one is continuous and discrete time signals, and even and odd signals, periodic, non-periodic signals, this deterministic and random signals, and energy and power signals. So let's see the first one, the continuous and discrete time signals. So a signal x of t, we use t to represent the continuous time signals, and to represent the discrete time signals we go for x of n in a squarish kind of a bracket representation. So the name continuous indicates that the signal x of t is defined, the signal is existing for all the values of t. Means if t is -1, the signal is having its value, x of t has its own value. If t is 1 point something, 1.001, it is having its value. Similarly, if 0.0001 also, for that value of t, the signal is existing. So the continuous time signal has the value for all the values of t over a certain range, or it may be running from -infinity to +infinity. So the signal will be defined for all the values of t. On the other hand, the discrete time signal, the signal, as the name says, discrete time. As the discrete time indicates that the signal is not present at all the values of the variable. Now here the variable is not t, we go for representing it as n, and the signal x of n is nothing but x of n into ts, whereas this ts is nothing but the spacing between the two adjacent samples. They may be any, so it may be the gap between these two, or it may be the gap between the other ones. So it is the gap between, or it is the distance between the two adjacent samples. So wherein the value of this n can be anything. It can be 0, it can be 1, 2, etc. So it indicates x of 0, x of 1, x of 2, and so on. And similarly, the minus values also. So the signal is not existing for all the values, or it is not continuous, it is a discrete, means it is existing in at only the defined instances. They are like 0, 1, 2, or 0 plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 2, etc. The next point is the even and odd signals. The signal is said to be even if it is symmetrical about the vertical axis. Just like this, here, if the vertical axis will be there, so whatever is there on the right side, the same will be there on the left side. So this kind of signals are referred as the even signals, wherein if this kind of a signal is there which are not at all symmetrical about the vertical axis, these are referred as the odd signals, which satisfy x of t is equal to x of t is equal to minus of x of t. But for this, x of t is equal to x of minus t. Now for example, xe of t is nothing but the even signal is given by half of x of t plus x of minus t. So the addition of x of t and x of minus t multiplied with half will give even signal, and the odd signal is nothing but subtraction of x of minus t from x of t and multiplying with half. So to understand that one, let's consider this x of t, and this x of t's even and odd signals will find. So x of t plus x of minus t. So x of t means it will be from 0 to 5 as it is, plus x of minus t means we know it is the time reversed version of x of t means which will be running in an opposite way, which will go on increasing and then go down to 0. So this kind of a signal. So the addition of these is nothing but and multiplied by half. Multiplied by half in the sense, if the amplitude of the signal is 1, then the amplitude of this would be 1 by 2. The amplitude of these would be 1 by 2. Similarly, the odd signal is nothing but the subtraction of x of t and x of minus t. So x of t will remain as it is, but minus of x of minus t means this signal has to be the reversed version. I mean minus of x of minus t means the same signal has to be, let's represent its time reversed version and then do subtraction also, means minus. So if it is there above this 0, it would be plus, and if we take it below, minus of x of minus t would be this signal. So these are the even and odd signals. Let's consider the example wherein 4 into e raised to minus of 0.5 t is our signal. So this continuous time signal at a t is equal to 0 will have its value as 4, and as t takes the value like 1 and all, then it goes on 4 into e to the power of minus 0.5, like this the value goes on decreasing as e to the power minus is there. So let's find the even and odd parts of the signal. The even and odd parts of the signal would be, so it's our x of t. Now our even signal would be the sum of x of t and x of minus t. X of minus t would be the reversed version. So which will be in this way. So it is the sum of x of t and x of minus t. But the representation of this signal would be, it is now instead of, now it is multiplied by 1 by 2 and its value is 4. So it would be 4 into e to the power of minus 0.5 plus 4 into e to the power of plus 0.5 t it is, but getting multiplied by 1 by 2 means, so 4 will go down to 2. So this will be that signal. And we know that if it is a decreasing exponential, then it is e to the power of minus 0.5 t, but where on the left side it is an increasing sort of an exponential, and for the negative values of t to get such kind of a signal, it has to be e to the power of plus 0.5 t. Now to find the odd signal, the x of t would be as it is, but minus of x of minus t. So this x of minus t, but we need to represent it in a reverse way. Just we reverse it about the horizontal axis. Then when we reverse it about the horizontal axis, the signal looks to be in this fashion. Then the next thing is the periodic and aperiodic signals. The signal is said to be periodic in nature if it satisfies the condition x of t is equal to x of t plus nt. So we know the signal to be periodic has to run from minus infinity to plus infinity is the first condition, and it should repeat itself over a certain duration of time is the second condition. So if it satisfies both of these, then certainly it remains periodic in nature with whatever the fundamental time period. Now for example, x of t is equal to a cos of omega t is periodic or not. Now let's check this condition, x of t plus nt. So a into cos of omega in place of t will substitute as t plus nt or tn. And when we go for its solution, we know that cos of omega t plus this is represented in the form of cos a plus b. So we can write cos a plus b is equal to cos a cos b into minus sin a sin b in that fashion. but the result of all those works out to be, because sine of 2 n pi is going to be 0, so there is no other term, and even cos of 2 n pi is going to be 1, so we get the result as a into cos of omega t, which satisfies this condition, so the signal remains periodic. And we note that the fundamental frequency of the signal is given by f naught is equal to 1 by t naught, and omega naught is nothing but 2 pi divided by t naught, referred as the angular frequency of the signal. And t naught is the fundamental period, and t naught is the minimum value of t that satisfies this condition. So the fundamental period is the minimum value of the period, or minimum value that satisfies this condition. Let's see the situation wherein a signal is the sum of two signals. Now when our signal is the sum of two signals, then how to find its periodicity? Let's see. So let's consider the first one as cos of pi by 3t, and the second one is sine of pi by 4t. Then t1, the period of the first signal, is 2 pi divided by omega, so which will be pi by 3, so which gives 6. And similarly t2 is 2 pi by omega 2, that is pi by 4, so we get 8. So in finding the periodicity of the sum signals, we have to follow a rule. The first one is we go for finding the ratio of the t1 to t2. The ratio of t1 to t2, 6 divided by 8, works out to be 3 by 4. Of course, it has to be a rational number. If it is not rational, or if it is irrational, then straight away we conclude that the resulting signal is not periodic or non-periodic signal. So if it is 3 by 4, it is rational number, so the signal is periodic, the sum signal is periodic. Then we go for finding the m1 into t1 is equal to m2 into t2. So we find m1 and m2 here, that is 6 is to the fundamental period is either this 6 multiplied with this 4, or it would be 3 into 8. So because numerator is 3, so t is equal to 3 into t2, or it has to be 4 into t1. So the fundamental period of the signal is 24. Similarly, if the signals are multiplied, then let's consider this signal. It is 2 into sine of 7 pi by 24t into cos of pi by 24 into t. So to find the period, fundamental period of this signal, first we should go for its simplification. Either it has to be a sum of or subtraction of two signals. So multiplication has to be solved, so it becomes 2 sine of 7 pi by 12 divided by 2 and cos of the same, so which can be written as sine of pi by 3t plus sine of pi by 4t, so which is the already solved problem, which will be given by this in this way, which was already solved, which gives its period as 24.